Check 1, 2, check. Hey guys, welcome to DeadCrow Comedy Room. It is open mic night. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting live comedy, especially of the open mic variety. Something going on in my life right now. Me and my wife, we're starting the process of becoming foster parents. No, guys, seriously, hold your applause. I already know we're better than you guys are. It's fine. But it's weird because like we're gonna adopt a kid, you know, after we foster for a while. But what's confusing to me is that my wife makes me have all the decisions. Like everything, like as simple as going out to eat is a very difficult situation for her. Like she's like, I just want to go out to eat, it's fine. I don't care where it is. But I figure that she'll probably say the same thing about the kid that she does about when we go out to eat. She'll be like, you know what, I don't care. As long as it's not Mexican or some sort of weird Chinese. And by weird Chinese, I mean Korean. So, I'm kidding, lady. It's a joke. If you're offended by that, you're in for the long haul tonight, honey. Let me tell you, there are going to be a lot of awful things that are said tonight.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Hey. I've got a babysitter. I'm wearing a dress that zips up the back, and I haven't pumped since noon, so I feel great. How many of you have kids? You got kids? Yeah? Yeah? No, this side of the room's like, fuck no. 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 It's okay. Yeah, when you have a baby, it's really interesting. It starts when you're pregnant, but every single person you've ever met in your life has so much advice to give you. There's so much advice, and you don't give a shit about any of it. It's all worthless advice. My favorite was somebody asked me, are you going to circumcise your child? Because we had a boy. And I said no, and so now all of you know about my son's penis. But I said no, we've chosen not to. We talked about it, and it was like I decided I was going to let him kill kittens. They were like, no, you have to circumcise your child. You have to. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not going to. And there was this woman I worked with who was like, you have to. Like, she was very, very, very upset about this. You have to circumcise your child. Meanwhile, this is the same lady that has a sticker on the back of her car that says, children are a gift from God, so obviously you can't abort them. But she's like, children are a gift from God. Yeah, except that little wrinkly part on their penis. Get the fuck out of here with that. We cut that shit off and burn it. And this other guy that I work with was like, oh, don't you want your son to have a girlfriend? You want your son to get laid, right? And I'm like, not really what I'm thinking about right now. But you know, if that's where we're going with it, then, you know, mommy was a virgin till she was 21. Sexual frustration, it builds character. So at least he'll be a good person. And he's like, oh, but girls aren't going to want to, he won't get any BJs if he's got circumcised. Girls don't want to give him a BJ. I was like, fucking good. Good. Maybe he'll respect women. Sorry, I have nothing against blowjobs, but you know, the ratio of blowjobs that I have given in my life to gone down-ons that I've had in my life is very distorted. And it is a very uneven ratio. And I would like my son to rise above.
The other day I was walking my dog at the park. I was just walking through the park, and this kid had to be like 5, 6 years old, ran up to me, and he's like, hey, can I pet your dog? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he stuck his hand out to pet my dog, and he had his hand like just out to it, and his mom came rushing in and scooped him up, was like, nope, and rushed off with him under her arm. And I looked at that and I was like, oh yeah, I'm a full-grown man. I can't just be walking up to kids at the park with my dog anymore. That's not a thing that I'm allowed to do. Like, when you're a kid, they teach you all the ways to, like, avoid pedophiles. I think when you turn 18, they should teach you all the ways to not appear like a pedophile. Like, hey, I get it. You have an excess of candy, but don't offer it to anybody. Just hold on to that. Yeah, I know it's raining, but that kid chose to walk to school. Don't offer him a ride. He'll get to school just fine. I saw these posts on my social media, all these posts, like, oh, R.I.P. Harambe, justice for Harambe. And I knew immediately, I didn't see the story yet, but I knew immediately, like, oh, Harambe is not a person. Because anytime you see white Americans sharing, like, justice for African-sounding name, it's not an African person. You can know that much right off the bat. Like, America would have gotten behind Free Mandela a lot sooner if Mandela was the name of an exotic elephant being kept at Trezembo Zoo. I drive for Uber. I like it. I'm not to brag, but I've got like a little under 300 rides, and I've got a rating of 4.89. So, you know, you see me, be happy you got me. I'm a good driver and all. But like, I take it seriously because the way I see it is like I want to be like a motivational Uber driver. Like when I pick up people, the way I see it is like, all right, I've got 7 minutes to change this person's life. And I get to work as soon as they get in the car, and I'm like, oh, hey, what do you do for a living? It's like, oh, well, you know, I work at a software company. I've been there for about 10 years. You know, it's nice. I get to provide for my family. You know, it's just enough to provide for my family. But what I've always wanted to do is, what I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to cook. I've always wanted to be a chef. Why don't you do that, man? Just go be a cook. Just quit your job and go be a chef. It's like, I provide for my family. I've got a steady job. Look. You told me that you want to cook. Look, man, this is your life. You know, I'm just the driver. You pick the destination, and I'll take you to. That's all I can do. I can just take you to your destination. I see on the GPS you're going to Blue Post, but we're going to pass Cape Fear Community College on the way. What say we stop by and get you enrolled in some culinary classes? It's up to you, man. It's up to you. It's your life. I got a hem and haw, get him in. He was like, yeah, let's do this. We're going to change your lives. We're going to change lives today. We're going to Cape Fear. We're going to do this. And I do it. And I drive over and I drop them off at Cape Fear Community College at 1:30 in the morning. But I changed their life. That guy takes taxis now.
Sweating like a lesbian eating an oyster. Anyway. Football season starting up. Y'all excited? Wow, that one chick's really excited. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked, but not that much. See, I'm a Redskins fan, so for me, the season usually ends in October. Yeah. We have a little saying where I'm from in DC. It's called next season. That'll be the year. I really hate it when girls call their boyfriend or their husband. I hate when they call him daddy. I think that's fucking creepy. Like, why would you call your partner, your boyfriend, whatever, something that you would call your father? Like, if ladies, I promise you, if we're hooking up and you call me daddy, I promise I will treat you like your father. I will walk out the door and never call you again. So, school's starting back up. All the college kids are back in town. You know what that means. Yeah? Your local Adderall dealer came into a fuck ton of money. Right now, college campuses across America, it is early Hanukkah for a white dude named Andre. Yeah. He can finally get that 1996 Toyota Corolla he's been eyeing.
Oh my God, party central tonight, guys. All right, make some noise for me if you're an introvert. No, you're not. No, you're not. Just from that. I don't know when it became like a trendy thing to be an introvert, but it has, and everyone likes to post about it. If I'm an introvert, please don't talk to me in the mornings, or when I'm at a party, and I don't think people know what introvert means. I know I'm not one. I know people who sound like me probably aren't an introvert. I know that, sometimes I'm in a situation where I'm annoyed, or I'm tired, or I just don't want to talk to you, or I yelled so loud the night before that I physically am unable to speak. But that doesn't make me an introvert. You know what I mean? I see these young women in particular, it's trendy somehow on Facebook, and they say, I'm really sensitive, and I know I talk nonstop a lot, but I'm really quite an introvert. Like last night I went to that party and I didn't talk to anyone. And it's like, Sharon, that is because you passed out in the corner. That is the only reason you stopped talking. So I tried a little experiment and I went off my ADD drugs for a couple of weeks. No, I do not have any extra. I'm gonna get that sweet, what was it, Corolla? There were some differences. So Blair, on the meds, likes to sweep and get laundry done and, make money to pay bills, that kind of stuff. But Blair, off the medication, kind of wants to, I want to lay in the grass, and then I start giggling, but I don't remember why I'm giggling. And giggle, that's a fucked up word, right? What is giggle? Where did that even come from? So then I get online and I Google giggle, that sounds weird. Google giggle, Google giggle, Google giggle. That's fucked up. And then you're on there and you're in the G's, so you're like, George Washington, that dude couldn't have kids. I wonder what was wrong with him. And then maybe I'll write a joke about George Washington and he couldn't have kids. And then yada yada yada. It's 2 hours later, and I haven't written a joke about George Washington. I haven't written a joke about anything. But you know what? There's a jingle bell on my floor. Is that from a cat toy? I don't know. It's weird because it's summer, but there's a jingle bell out there. And I wonder if Santa Claus made the elves wear jingle bells the same reason you make a cat wear a bell. You know what I mean? Maybe those elves were predatory. Maybe he was warning the other North Pole creatures out there that they were coming. Because maybe in the off season they all get laid off like Belk workers over Christmas, and then come January after the returns, they're out of work and they're starving. So there's all these hungry elves roaming all over the North Pole, and they're attacking baby seals and clubbing them to death and ripping them apart with their brains, and that's not good for tourism at the North Pole. So Santa Claus put those little bells on them so everybody knows that they're coming and keeps things clean looking, even though the elves are still starving. And you know what's weird about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? A lot of things, but one of them is in that claymation, from 1960, the Rankin Bass, the good one, not the crappy cartoon, the good one. That one, they always are singing that Misfit song. And Hermie, the elf, who wants to be a dentist, they want you to believe that he feels like a misfit because he wants to be a dentist at the North Pole instead of making toys. When really, Hermie is a misfit because he's gay in the North Pole in 1960s, and there's no one for him to talk to or have sex with. And it's really upsetting. And how have they never made that into a Broadway show? Because listen to the song. Why am I such a misfit? I am not just a nitwit. You can't fire me. I quit. I just don't fit in. So I went back on the medication.
Guys, I'm German, and it's ironic that I'm deciding to do stand-up comedy because a lot of Germans, they really don't have a sense of humor, given our past. A lot less humor, a little more concentration. I really don't understand handicap parking spots at the gym. Does that shit make any sense to anybody?
So, I've been in a bunch of relationships. How many people? I know you're getting married. How many people have been in a bunch of relationships? Just me and this one girl right here. That's good. I realized because I'm on my second marriage. I've been married for 20 years with this lady I'm with now. 5 years on the first one. That was my high school sweetheart. I wish you all the best. Good. But I realized, because over the last few years, my wife and I have been kind of bickering a lot, really kind of arguing, And I realized over the past couple of days that if I just listen to her when she talks and not try to fix all of her solutions, her problems, just going to solve her problems, and I'm really there when she's speaking to me and paying attention to her, and if she seems down, I ask her, what's the matter and what can I do to help you? Their relationships are pretty cool. We get along a lot better, is what I'm saying. So, anybody porn here? I was born poor. I was born lower class, like middle lower class though, not like lower class, but middle lower class. And then we worked our way up to upper lower class. And then when I left home, I went to like, low class, and just never really had a lot of money. And at 49 years old, I realized that if I stay off of social media so much and don't watch a lot of TV and really focus on going to work, I have more money at the end of the week. I have 2 cats. Anybody have cats? I've never been a big cat person. I've always liked them when they were kittens, but never a big cat person. I always end up with like one smart cat that pees on baseboards and one dumb cat that doesn't do anything at all except be dumb. And so I've never really like attached myself to my cats. But like over the last, week or so, I've realized that if you just let the cat get in your lap and you pet it, it makes you feel really nice.
Guys, one of the best things about stand-up comedy is you can come up here if anybody's wronged you in your life and you can just like take pot shots at them and they can't do anything about it. It's like one of the best things about doing stand-up comedy. But like, I always feel like, I wanted to talk about my ex-girlfriend recently and I couldn't make like mean jokes about her. I couldn't do it, right? She meant a lot to me. I couldn't do it. I felt like, what if she's in the crowd? What if she's in the crowd and she comes in, she hears me saying something mean about her and it hurts her feelings, right? I don't want her to be in the crowd whenever I'm doing stuff like that. Guys, so like what I did is before I came on stage tonight, I put garlic up at all the entrances to this building. Made sure she's not going to show up. She's a monster. Guys, what's up with the concept of dog years? Like, who is that for? That's bullshit, right? Dog years? Like, no, that's not for the dogs, right? Like, the dogs, they have no concept of death or time. They're not worried about dog years. That's for the people who can't, like, take that their little animal is only going to live, like, 11 or 12 years, right? That's for us to feel comforted. I just think it's kind of dumb. You can't go up to, like, a person who's just lost a child and go up to him and be like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry about your loss. Yeah, I know little Timmy, he was only, like, he was only 11 years old, but he was 77 in dog years. Little Timmy lived an entire dog life, and you should be happy with that. Take comfort in that. Guys, did you know that Betty White is 654 in dog years? Holy shit. She's like an old human, but in dog years, she's killing it. Thank you guys very much. I've been Joe Bowen.
I come from a redneck town originally. I'm from this place called Johnston County. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a farm town, but the only thing really growing there are meth labs, cold sores, and teen pregnancy rates. On a school night. Yeah. Another fun fact about Johnston County, we're actually the car crash capital of North Carolina. You gotta think about that. We live in Wilmington. We don't need alarm clocks. The sound of sirens at 5 a.m. wakes us up pretty well. You can't go down Market Street without seeing a car pile up or a collision of some kind. Yet, Johnston County still leads us in drunk driving and auto homicide. I like to think it's because it's really easy to get a driver's license in Johnston County. Literally, when I stepped in the car, the person just said, okay, you got all your fingers? Do they bend? I've been fooled before.
I feel like my entire demeanor just shouts, I smoke weed. Because I didn't dress up at all or anything. And I just look high. You guys smoke weed? Yes. No, we're police officers. We don't do that. What is it, a bachelorette party or is it a birthday party? Kind of both? That's tight. Hey, baby, just, so we could save some money, can we get married on your fucking birthday? That'd be awesome. We'll just do it all in one thing. My girlfriend, she, tells her parents the most embarrassing things. Like, I was sick last week, I had diarrhea. Sorry. It's just part of the story. And she puts her mom on speakerphone, And her mom was like, hey, how are you guys doing? Hey, Colton, how's that diarrhea? How's that going? You shitting? And I looked at her like, you fucking told her? Why did you fucking tell her? It's embarrassing. And she was like, I never talked shit about you. I was like, you just did. You literally talked shit about me. And I was like, how would you feel if I said that, like something like that to my parents? She's like, I wouldn't even care. She was like, I'm gonna win this argument. I don't even care. So the next night at dinner, we're with my parents, and my mom looks over at her and she's like, oh, hey, Allison, how's that pussy? I heard Colton tore that shit up last night. Are you okay?
You ever been so high driving down the road that you're sure there's a snake in your car? Like you heard it when you got in the car and you're like fuck, and you're high and you're driving, you're like, I know there's a snake, and you have so much trash and bags and cans in your car because you're a stoner. And it starts moving around when you're turning and you're like, that's the fucking snake. That's the fucking snake. But then you're like so bold. The stoners are really bold. So you're like, fuck, I don't care if it's a black mamba, and you're just reaching your hand back to get the snake.
Going bald? That sucks too. It's like the universe is conspiring against me to make sure I'd never get laid again. But I was telling my friend I was thinking about shaving my head. And he goes, that's a good idea because now you'll never have to worry about shampoo again. And I'm like, oh, I thought I was lying in bed on those lonely, sleepless nights, sad about my very existence, but I was actually subconsciously really fucked up about shampoo. I don't have any game. I'm not good at like talking to girls. I went up to this girl the other night at a bar, and I said, "You're pretty for a black girl." That's bad. What's even worse is that's not actually even what I said. What I said was, "You're pretty black for a girl."
24 years old, finally figured out how to deal with white people when I get confronted by y'all. Y'all like cheese, actually y'all love it. I don't need anybody to try to argue with me. I know y'all do, I have a joke about it. I'm not telling it tonight. I know y'all love cheese. So, at all times, I keep various cheese products on my person, all the time. In my back pocket right now, I have 7 Kraft singles ready to go. Try me if you want. You want to get in my face about something? Here's a Parmesan. There you go. You don't like Parmesan? Here's some blue cheese crumbles right there. How you like that? Crackers love cheese, y'all. Yeah.
I walked out of work the other day and found a note on my car. I got excited about it. I was like, someone left me a sweet note on my car after work. And the note said, I like 'em husky. Does the carpet match the cock? First of all, you got my attention. Second of all, what the fuck does that mean? And third of all, is this how we're gonna communicate? Like, do I have to come up with something equally as weird but funny at the same time? Like, I don't know, how are you doing? I like 'em mysterious. Does the smile match the areola?
Yeah, I drank last night and it was horrible. And I work tech support from home. And an 89-year-old woman called me today and I hung up on her just because of her voice. Like, I figured it was more polite to hang up on her instead of telling her to talk through a towel. And she was like, oh my God, my photos. I'm like, nope, bitch.
Crash. Boom. Bang. These are all noises that could be heard on 9/11. 15 years ago, a day that will live in infamy. And still, we do not know who is responsible. Was it the Muslim terrorists? Or was it our own United States government? Who knows? There's answers we'll never uncover. But I'll tell you what, one question I have. You want to know what that question is? It's 15 years later, and how come I still can't use 9/11 as a verb in everyday conversation? Riddle me that, huh? Like, dude, I totally just 9/11'd this chick last night. 9/11, of course, is replacing the word rape. Rape is a much worse word, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy equals time plus tragedy. I bet a rape just happened 10 minutes ago. That is not long enough. We can't use that word no more. 9/11, 15 years ago. Tell me why I can't say that one instead, huh? Huh? You, ma'am, right there. Tell me why I can't say 9/11 as a verb.
What did his parents do to him? That's what I want to know. I just imagine he's been raped with Thor's hammer. That's what I think. There's just been a slew of uncles on Thanksgiving just having their way with Cameron Smith. That's how it started. You know what I'm talking about, Graybeard. You got it.